Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new, what do you call it, enterprise, Queen Agnes Legal Lab. Originally, we wanted to launch the Faculty of Law. We didn't have the right name for it. We wanted to make it somewhat more creative than just the Faculty of Law at the Agnipolitan Academy. However, then when we were thinking of it, we decided that our knowledge of the area, our ability to move in the area, our overall competence and what we can do within the area is below what we could start as a faculty. Therefore, we decided to go for something of the lower requirements, that is laboratory. In the laboratory, we are going to work on different areas of law, the areas that have become particularly important for us due to our own life experience. The reason for starting the faculty, the impulse itself, of course, it had been within the overall design of the Agnipolitan Academy from the very start. However, what we are doing right now is connected directly to our experience of 2009. In 2009, we reached a point where we thought we could not remain unemployed anymore. The situation was devastating in psychological terms, very difficult mentally, difficult spiritually, not to mention how difficult socially it was. We had to borrow money from our mom. That is never a convenient life arrangement. However, the reason why we were jobless was not our deficiency, but the problems at work. The problems at work that had not been caused by us, that had not been in any way conditioned by something that someone could claim as our inadequacy. That is basically the contrast, the terrible mismatch, the clash between an ethical person and the unethical environment. However, whatever personal preferences, whatever criminal turns of mind or other turns of mind, we live within a certain framework of agreements that we all should live by. The agreements are called the law. Of course, no one asked each and every of us when establishing this or that law what our opinion was. Still, being a citizen of the country, being born into the country, really, we have to accept the law as it is to start with, and then we can grow up trying to change it. Sadly, we were not able to handle our situations professionally in the sense of knowing the law immediately and knowing how to execute it, finding the right people to get it executed, and so on. By now, we have reached the authorities of Poland. So there is nowhere else to go as far as Poland is concerned. We can only go outside Poland. Of course, we are not a specialist. We have been learning. We are going to continue learning. And this is our starting point. This is where we are right now. We are not going to deal with law in general. As I said, we are going to focus on certain areas that have been particularly important for us, for the Queen Agnieszka Justitia Rojek, who took her name Justitia to signify justice as the spiritual values, as a spiritual quality, as the souls. We call ourselves the guardians of justice and truth. And the areas that we are particularly concerned with nowadays, and those areas connect with our experience in the Veronese Gallery, are, to start with, dignity and freedom, but then realized in particular areas of our daily life. We have been a victim of discrimination to start with, discrimination on religious grounds, on the basis of someone not only not accepting our convictions, not only not tolerating our convictions, but actually thinking they could try to impose other convictions on us or punish us for our convictions. The convictions which were totally humanitarian, which were totally valuable, actually invaluable, much higher than the convictions represented by the people attacking us. What can we say? The discrimination has reached such a height that it has turned into regular persecution. So here you have the first official victim of regular persecution in Poland in the new era. This is the free Poland, the Poland that has undergone changes after 1989. And still, you have a totally innocent person who has been under surveillance for years, whose life has been totally destroyed. This is deep intervention into mind, but the intervention requires intervention into the person's brain. So the changes are actually physical in the end. However, we are lucky we had been prepared in a way, by which we mean that the moment someone wanted to enforce, to cause, but actually to enforce a heart attack, a stroke on us, we are able to take control over our body and stop the heart attack from developing into a real tragedy, which is not less tragic, of course. We have recovered significantly, however, all those events form part of what we are going to deal with in our real life now. So this is one huge department, the area of freedom, of the freedom of the spirit, actually, because one's spiritual convictions are the most valid ones as far as one's life, the core of the person's life goes. There's another area that is the area that led to the many bad things happening in our life, that is the area of employment. the relationship between the employee and the employer. Obviously, we are a victim here as well. Then there's another factor, the factor that takes us into the area of international law. That is the cause we had been devoted to the moment we took the job in 2001. So let us focus on the job for a while. The job was selling all sorts of gifts, statuettes, boxes, all sorts of plates, and other little things that you can buy, mirrors, and so on. All sorts of things that you can give as a present, as a gift to someone. The point is, they were produced in China. And we happened to be the person who had been protesting and manifesting that protest not only in communications in the internet under the name of Dolphiness. There had been or have been other Dolphinesses too, so I would like not to be confused with anyone else. However, my nickname was Dolphiness. And this is not only the public statements, the public communications, the public appeals, but also taking part in a manifestation in the street. We are not fully aware of how the whole thing has been classified, observed, and so on by the right authorities of China. However, we have traveled a long way since, and now, of course, we are in a different phase of our approach to the problem and our ideas of what we personally could do to help with that. Our standpoint is clear. We believe in the free trade. Actually, we believe in the kingdom. So we are even not in agreement with the current rightful, considered unrightful or not fully rightful authorities of the Tibet. Still, for some reason, it is the mission we have. That takes us to another area, huge area of a big question mark. That is the question of democracy and systems. Sadly enough, we have arrived at the conclusion that democracy is the rule of idiots, by means of idiots or wise people. It depends. However, in the end, the majority rule leads to the lower capacity and ability people enforcing, quite often violently, their lower values onto the elite that is in the minority and has the values that require higher ability, higher ethics, and higher spiritual identity. So, we are back to kingdom or queenland in our case. As you can see, these four areas already are huge, but that's not the end of it. We are going to work on the concept of the freedom of expression. Needless to say, we ourselves have gone into all sorts of discussions, either in words or in cartoons, and we have suffered severe consequences in the way. On our part, going back to the Veronese Gallery, which is the place where we work, we can say there was a very, very good illustration of how certain values and expression can affect what's going on in the place, around the place, and out there in the world. When we started working there, we wrote an email to one of our friends. We were quite happy because finally we were in the place where there was no Jesus, just Buddha. A day passed or two, and our boss brought the cross with Jesus, to our great dissatisfaction. At the point we had been very, very tired by continuous harassment, we should say, on the part of Opus Dei. We had been being recruited into the ranks or not, but certainly into the cause. We had been refusing. We have not changed. We have not changed our mind since. However, Opus Dei has become far less troublesome, and we have found some positive contributions on the part of the organization as well. So we appreciate that. However, at the time, we had had enough, so to say. The situation is you are being a good person, and the goodness you have, the purity you have, the high values you live, suddenly are resulting in your life becoming worse than the life of the people who had lived differently and less nobly. This is absolutely unacceptable. We reject it with full force, and we apply every force possible, every means possible to get justice done. Back in the gallery, we have the Jesus. So the boss puts the cross on a shelf. Okay, the Buddha is lower, the Jesus is high. What happens when we turn it the other way around, when we put Jesus on a lower shelf? Guess. And this is part of the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, probably we could be talking for a long time, developing the ideas that popped up in our mind spontaneously. This speech has not been prepared. I'm delivering it spontaneously, just to keep it within the framework of a lab. We are not specialists, but we know enough to study as a proper professional legal lab. Welcome.